Michael Morales Torres para Lucha Libre Online y de todo un poco el calce Metro Puerto Rico. Esto va a salir en todos lados, así que vamos rapidito sin perder mucho tiempo. Andrés Figueroa de Chile, José Montesino desde Orlando, Florida, Luis Cotés desde Sabana Grande, Puerto Rico. Y lo que verdaderamente importa, representando a México, a Estados Unidos y a toda América Latina en la industria del MMA, nuestro invitado especial, el coach, el entrenador de entrenadores, el genio detrás de a.k.a. Javier Méndez o ACA, llega nuevamente acá a Lucha Libre Online. Javier, for us it's an absolute honor to have you back here in our show. ¿Cómo te encuentras? How have you been doing lately?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on. You know, I keep forgetting how fast you speak in Spanish. Pero, sí, rápido.
Mis disculpas por eso. Apologies for that. I believe Andres has an interesting question, and it'll be at a normal speed. Wait, no, he's Chilean too, so we're gonna be speaking fast. No, apologies for that. So Andres will try to regulate his speed this time.
Okay. Nice to meet you, Javier. My first question is about fights.
Okay.
I will talk in Spanish, but slowly. En el pasado hubieron hartas situaciones en las que peleadores de AKA como Caín Velásquez y Cormier pudieron enfrentarse, pelear entre ellos, pero no se dio. Actualmente también podría pasar algo así. Por ejemplo, Usman en Bellator tiene en la misma división a Islam Mamedov. Podría haber una pelea ahí. También podría haber una pelea entre Usman y Makhachev si va a UFC. Entonces me gustaría preguntarte, ¿qué hace AKA en esas situaciones? ¿Cómo maneja eso? La posibilidad de que dos peleadores del gimnasio se enfrenten por el título o por una pelea de primer contendiente.
Well, esa cosa nunca se va a pasar. Es imposible porque son como hermanos y para ellos dinero no es la cosa que es más importante. So, nunca vamos a ver esa pelea, nunca. Por eso así es como es. Por eso Usman está con Bellator y Islam es de UFC. Nunca vas a mirar a ellos que van a pelear. Si quieres, si gente quiere mirar a ellos disparar, tienen que tener ¿cómo se dice? The good luck to be in sparring sessions with them. But nunca vamos a ver a ellos que van a pelear de serio.
Very interesting. Thank you, Javier.
Luis Cotés creo que también tiene una pregunta, pero vamos a desviarnos un poquito más con la de Lu. ¿Cuál sería tu pregunta para esta leyenda, para esta eminencia de la industria del MMA?
Javier, nice to meet you. It's an honor for me. Mi pregunta es, ¿cuál tú crees que podrías decir que sería la clave del éxito de AKA? Porque hemos visto en el pasado peleadores como Caín Velásquez, Daniel Cormier, Luke Rockhold, BJ, entre otros, ahora Islam, Khabib y todos ellos. ¿Cuál tú crees que es esa clave que tiene AKA de que salgan tantos peleadores exitosos?
Yo creo que es más buena, ¿cómo se dice? Luck, ¿verdad? Good luck que tenemos a Khabib y todos los peleadores vienen de Dagestan para entrenar con nosotros. Eso es más que todo, es good luck. Good luck. Buena suerte. Tenemos buena suerte.
Muy interesante.
Muy buena suerte.
Yo le llamaría un poco más que suerte, le llamaría habilidad y consistencia.
Claro.
Josian también tiene una pregunta para esta eminencia del MMA. ¿Cuál es tu pregunta para Javier Méndez, Josian?
Javier, nice to meet you. We've been seeing that for the last, no sé si la puedo hacer en inglés o en español, creo que es más fácil.
Spanglish, como te sientas cómoda.
You're doing much.
Okay, so for the last 18, 15 years, we've been seeing AKA dominating MMA, champions from Strikeforce, UFC, Bellator. How's been your evolution and the evolution of AKA to keep having champions every single year? We're having right now Islam, that is one of the biggest MMA stars in the UFC. He have an amazing match and fight on next February. So how's been the evolution of AKA and how you deal with those different, I like to say times because the MMA has been an entire evolution for the last 20 years?
Well, you know, we deal with it because we understand that times change and we can always look to improve. We're always looking to better ourselves, and we stay to the same formula as a team. In other words, if you are sparring first because your fight is due on, let's say, January, and somebody that might be a bigger star has got a fight, but his is in February, well, the bigger star doesn't go first. The person that has a fight coming up first goes first. And we keep ourselves aligned with that. And like I said before, it's a good fortune that I've had Khabib come to the gym, and then he brought over his fighters, et cetera, along with when Caín Velásquez came over and a few other ones, you know, that followed suit. It was good fortune that allowed me to be in this position, because I'm not so sure a lot of other coaches couldn't have done what I've done if they had the same kind of talent that I had, you know. So it's attributed to the talent and being able to mold it into something. But you know, there was a lot of good fortune there, you know, and I think that's what's kept us going, is that I do have the foresight to see that we need to get better. We keep needing to improve, because once my guy becomes a champion, then it's like, now it's really time to learn, because now the competition knows what you're all about. So they're coming, and they're coming better. They know what the prototype is for who the champ is, and they know what they need to do to beat them. So we need to improve those areas where they feel they can expose you, you know, and take your title from you. So that's some of the things that we do.
Si me permite, I want to ask, 2022 has been a crazy roller coaster ride. Like, we've seen everything, pero una de las cosas que pasó este año que kind of took us, all of us, both MMA and wrestling industry, out of the track, was the situation with Caín Velásquez. De momento vemos que un hermano para ambas industrias está siendo detenido y held sin derecho a fianza por algo que cualquiera en nuestra posición hubiésemos hecho. Es una realidad. De momento tuvimos la oportunidad de verlo. You know, he sale a la libre comunidad, and he was granted an opportunity this time with AAA, Lucha Libre AAA, to do something that he loves, which is Lucha Libre as well. Have you spoken to Caín lately? How's his mental state? ¿Tuviste la oportunidad de verlo luchando con AAA? Like, what's your opinion regarding this whole Caín Velásquez situation?
Well, what I feel from being personally involved, going to the court cases, yo miré que el judge, la primera judge que él tenía, era muy cabrona. Ella no le dejó hacer nada, no le dejó hacer peo, nada. Todo que dejó el abogado de Caín, ella dijo pedo todo. Ella, el judge. Y este judge que ya tiene ahorita es muy, you know, fair. He's very fair. El otro no. Por eso todas esas cosas andan pasando, porque este judge conoce que Caín es un judge de una familia, y él sabe que no va a dejar a la familia a dejar solo, y él se va a ir a otro país, ¿verdad? Él se va a estar aquí, defender lo que tiene que defender, pues es con la familia, ¿verdad? So es lo que anda pasando más diferente. Es, you know, we have a better judge, you know, and this judge understands, and he's being very fair. You know, what's going to happen in the courts, we don't know, but the judge is very, very, very fair. Look what he's allowed. He gave him bail. He also allowed him to go to work for Lucha Libre, AAA, right? And he's going to get to go again, you know? So he's getting a lot of privileges because we have a fair judge. And that's all that he was asking for, is let me have a fair judge. Let me go to court. Let me defend myself, because I'm not guilty till, you know, no one's guilty till you get found guilty, you know? So right now, you know, that's what's happening. And the court system is going to work. I believe in the court system now. I didn't before, because he was getting a lot of push on him, but now I believe in the court system is going to treat him fair, and what's going to happen is meant to happen. And I believe in my heart that he'll be fine.
Y esperamos que así sea, que el estado de California le haga justicia a Caín Velásquez. Una situación muy, muy penosa. Un amigo tuyo muy personal que durante muchos años entrenaste, así que we hope to see him well, we hope to see him healthy, to see him with his family together, and for justice to be served properly. We've spoken about Usman during the interview, but I believe Andres has a question about Umar. So Andres.
Yes. I want to ask you about what's the reason why Umar took the Raoni Barcelos fight? Because he's in the 11th spot in bantamweight division, and he can face a top 5, a top 10. What is the reason he took that fight in January?
Because there's nobody wanting to fight him.
That's what I imagine.
The fighters all want to fight everybody, but they don't want to risk their rankings. So he took whatever he can get, and whoever the managers can work with UFC to get him. Now, fighters themselves are not afraid of anybody. If you're a fighter, you're not afraid of anybody. But if you're a manager, you're like, well, wait a minute, why we want to fight this guy? It doesn't make sense. Umar's in the same situation that Islam Makhachev was in. He couldn't find nobody fighting him because he's that good. Well, Umar's that good also. He's that good. So Umar's going to dominate the bantamweight division. It's just a matter of when he gets that opportunity. It's not if, it's when. He's going to get it. It's just when. And this is one person that stepped up to the plate. And hopefully the UFC can force other individuals to step up to the plate. And they will get dominated by Umar. When they step up to the plate, they will get dominated. The kid's that good. He's the future. He's going to be my first bantamweight UFC champion. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be really a good experience for me. And there couldn't be anybody better than having him as a champion. He's just an unbelievable kid. I love that kid.
Thank you, Javier.
Palabras casi proféticas, Luis Cotes.
My other question is, right now, Islam Makhachev won the title. Volkanovski is next, right?
Yes.
We saw that he beat easily Charles Oliveira. You think that the top 5 of the 155 can solve the puzzle that Makhachev bring to the octagon or not? And for that is that Volkanovski is now in the fight and not another fighter of the 155.
Well, I think that Volkanovski's, of course, he's pound for pound #1, and I think Islam, once Islam beats him, he'll be pound for pound #1. And although Islam dropped too low, my opinion, from pound for pound, but it doesn't matter. He deserved it. I thought he was always going to be pound for pound anyways, but now that he is #2, he's going to be #1. And Volkanovski is a great fighter. Obviously, he's pound for pound, but, he has a big disadvantage in my opinion. And, he's never going to have met anybody like Islam, that when Islam puts him on the ground, he's going to be in some big problems. And he has to worry about the stand-up too. He can't be thinking that, this is going to take me down. No, this guy can knock you out standing up too. So, Volkanovski has one way of winning. He has one way of winning. And then it could happen, he can knock out Islam. That's it. But Islam has knockout decisions, submissions, demolish you on the ground type situation. Volkanovski no puede ganar muchos maneras, ¿verdad? De ganar, pero Islam tiene muchas maneras como él puede ganar la pelea, muchas.
O sea, ver la vía del knockout a Volkanovski, en esta ocasión Makhachev ganando a Volkanovski.
Pues lo que yo pienso, nunca yo voy al knockout, yo voy a 5 rounds, ¿verdad? Porque yo no quiero afectar que, hey, te lo vas a knockout en el segundo round y no pasa. Es mejor que yo pienso que la pelea va a dar 5 rounds, saltas. Y así es mejor para mí, porque mi cabeza está dentro de la pelea todas las veces. Si yo pienso, una round y no pasa en una round, no va a pasar aquí. No, yo quiero estar enfocando todas las veces a qué va a pasar la pelea, y yo siempre quiero pensar que es 5 rounds.
Excelente. Josian, tienes posiblemente una de las preguntas más interesantes de la entrevista, so puedes proceder.
So we've been seeing that obviously Islam is not undefeated, but he have an amazing winning streak. And before him, we have Habib, well, basically undefeated. For someone like you, and for someone, and for the people who works on AKA, how's the mindset before a fight, the 2 or 3 months before the fight, when you have someone as Habib or Islam, who are almost undefeated or has an amazing winning streak? Because we've been seeing this mental strain for Habib when he fought McGregor with all the trash talk. We have Oliveira. Was a lot of people saying that Oliveira was gonna beat Islam. I thought that Oliveira was going to present a more difficult fight from Islam. So how do you and the fighters on AKA works that type of pressure, knowing that you're basically undefeated, or you basically have an amazing title shot, or you have basically an amazing winning streak?
Well, first, we have to focus on, the strengths of Volkanovski, and we have to look at where we can beat him. And during the training camp, we work on those particular things that he needs to do while in the fight. And the confidence comes from being able to do it in the training, and keep in mind, with Team Habib, there's a lot of fighters, super, super talented, maybe better strikers than Volkanovski, better grapplers. Some are better grapplers than Volkanovski. So all around, he's going to have a bunch of people to spar with that are in one way or another have Volkanovski's abilities. Now, maybe not completely all around, or maybe more completely all around. I'm thinking not all the way around, because probably the only ones that have that all the way around would be, well, Usman. Usman is definitely one of those, but for the ground, I mean, there's no substitute. There's nobody better at 155 to train with than Islam Makhachev team, with Islam, Habib, and Usman, and Umar, and a whole bunch of other killers. So for the ground, they're not going to be able to find anything. The opposition, meaning Volkanovski's team, it's going to have a hard time duplicating the kind of partners that Islam's going to have for grappling. Striking, yeah, Volkanovski's going to have some great strikers, because he's a great fighter. Obviously, you can't take nothing away from him. He's a great fighter. He is a great fighter. And Islam Makhachev is just a bigger version, and much better on the ground than anybody that Volkanovski's ever faced, and that's where the big difference, I believe, is going to happen. Now, can it go 5 straight rounds and that's it? The decision is a 5-round decision? Yes, absolutely. I'm not expecting it to go 1 or 2 rounds get submitted. I'm expecting 5 rounds, because I have to respect Volkanovski as being able to be in the fight all the way through. And if I don't respect him, I think I can run into problems.
We saw even when he fought Brian Ortega, Brian had him on a guillotine. I think it was on the 3rd round, and we almost believed that he was going to beat Volkanovski. So do you think that, knowing what happened on that fight and it went to 5 rounds, you think that Islam will definitely kill him if that happens in that exact moment in the middle of the octagon?
Well, if it happens like that and we get him in the same position, of course, it's going to be a lot different for Volkanovski with Islam, because Islam's much bigger, much stronger. So, let's put it this way. Volkanovski has never met anybody like Islam as far as the ground game. I never met anybody like Islam. And actually probably never met anybody like Islam on the ground and stand-up who has it all. So Volkanovski's had to worry about striking or ground, right? But this time around, not only does he have to worry about ground, he has to worry about striking. Not only does he have to worry about striking, he has to worry about the ground. He has to worry about everything, because this is a fight that's going to put him on all alert on all levels, because Islam can finish him in any particular situation. And that's the danger for him. And for us, not on the ground. He's not going to finish us on the ground. He can finish us on the stand-up. So we have to be on high alert there and avoid the traps that he possesses. And trust me, he possesses a lot. Volkanovski is a legit, fighter. And obviously he's pound for pound. If you don't respect the pound for pound, then you got some problems. You got to respect him. He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter for a reason. I just feel he's just not big enough to deal with Islam, and Islam's arsenal is like second to none. I don't think there's any lightweight in the history of the UFC that's as talented in all the areas that he is.
My last question, I don't want to keep getting, do you think it's an advantage or a disadvantage that the height difference on this fight?
It's an advantage, 100% an advantage, not a disadvantage for us. It's an advantage, you know, big time.
Before we go to our last question, we wanted to thank you for your time, sir. It's been an absolute honor to have the opportunity to speak with you. It's just, you know, thank you for being here. Last but not least, 2022 was bigger than everyone expected for AKA, for Javier Méndez, for Habib as a coach, for everyone. What's next for AKA, for Javier and for Habib on 2023?
Well, 2023, vamos a mirar a Usman Nurmagomedov. Va a entrar el $1,000,000 tournament for Bellator y lo va a ganar. Vamos a mirar eso. Él va a ganar eso. Y vamos a mirar a Islam Makhachev. Va a defender el título 2 veces. Lo vas a ganar 2 veces. Ojalá hay chance que 3. Y a ver qué pasa el año 2024. 2024. Es posible que él quiere subir para el welterweight a un punto, ¿verdad? A ver qué pasa. A ver qué pasa. El Islam Makhachev sí puede hacer eso. Pero a ver qué pasa. Primero y luego vamos a mirar a Umar. Umar va a llegar al título. Yo creo el último año 2023, 2023, he's going to be in posible que van a mirar a ese país en el futuro del bantamweight division. Y 2024, el Umar Nurmagomedov va a ganar el título también. Y yo tengo otros, Mo Alarek, es from Kuwaiti, es un que va a ser gran campeón también, pero necesita más tiempo con él, pero lo vamos a mirar el nombre a Mo Alarek también. Y hay otros, pero y también tiene Habib, Team Habib tiene muchos talentos de personas en la escuela en Dagestan.
Ha sido un honor tenerlo como invitado, augurándote el mayor de los éxitos, tanto a ti como a Habib, como a AKA, como Umar, como a Usman, como a todo el crew de AKA, como Islam. Like, we are always rooting for you. Thank you for your time. Gracias por tu tiempo. And let's wrap this up. Pero en español, Andrés Figueroa, José Montesino, Luis Cotés, Javier Méndez y Michael Morales Torres para Lucha Libre Online, la marca número 1 de Pro Wrestling y Combat Sports en el mundo. Será hasta la próxima.